Hi, officer. Anything I can help you with? A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium. The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place. The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts.
let's see. Who are you looking for? I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate? Aha! Like snowmen. Two odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking... Right. Not only snowmen...
Oh, you're getting it.
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were... Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids. Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is...
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her.
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one. Mines. Mines. You need mines.
Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. Very unattractive, but... Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shot. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. What makes you think we haven't? The truth, that goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. No one wants to talk about how frightened they are. But only frightened people are really dangerous. And plenty of them are dangerous. Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone. To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk and sure. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very... She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. Aye. Sunny days.
No, ma'am.
Good. 'Twould have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at...
In time, when the sea turns and the winds settle...
My prediction. It will be at least 2 days.
Were you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construct. What a nice idea.
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
That Evrart and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves.
And those members have a vote when electing the head of the local chapter.
He has a pen in everything. Here you go. You're welcome.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in close.
Then how does she know you're here?
I still have a golden ear. Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any...
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of... Oh, the usual. No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of... He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
Maybe because you're an ill omen, but you're still welcome here, as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor car. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to a... That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. Oh, don't. It's your choice. No skin off my teeth. My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small... Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the place.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
Just us. This is pretty much a non-place.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
The lack of wealth is the one thing we've got in abundance.
It's cold, cynical.
Riddles. Fits with the general...
Aye. Sometimes it's as though I'm also gotten lost inside this nameless nothing. Oh, it seems to be a common theme these days. Maybe it'll be easy, but right now you want something from me, right? Well, there's Lillian and her kids. And then there's the drugs. Lillian is tough. Tougher than the... Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Over there, you can find more of the same. An old military hospital, and it's around. After the war, it was turned into a Goodwill hospital. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets. The Goodwill ran out. The staff left, and the place was here for you. No office.
Under carts, boats, in little boxes. It's not hard to find. She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
Not much. There's the abandoned church. Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around.
So, they don't...
No, we've tried, but things just keep... Before you get to the church, there's... I don't know exactly. A pre-war place.
She nods, rinsing.
Me? No one. Just... Now it's your turn, Mr... What a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them double. Eh? What's this about? Come now. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna... I see Lillian's name is already here. The girl is too trusting. I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises they never planned. Then the poor get pushed out of their homes and the...
In her mind, the Union is right-wing because Everard is fat. It's that simple. She is headstrong, but there's a slight hesitation in there. You may be able to convince her. It's really in her best interest to listen to you. You know how the world works.
I've heard that pitch before plenty. Building this, building that, new job. Were you dropped on the head as a kid? Do you know who takes the cream off these deals? Real estate have some integrity. You're an officer of the law, not some fat slug's corrupt little crony.
It's okay. She's emotional right now. You know, there could be another way. You need to go someplace private and discreet. The scruffy-haired little boy, the other one, looks indistinguishable from him. This one,
Lily's our mum.
the stone kicker, laughed. The other, wow, so intellectually stimulating. The stone kicking isn't even of very high caliber. Anyone can do. The stone kicking one.
He looks just like me.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws. The rock kicker was just.
You're bad with kids. Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
Hello, mister.
She clutches a small stuffed animal.
Yes, I am. Little Lily. That's nice. My mum is great. Yes. They don't want to play with. They look the same. They look identical. It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken scooter you almost certainly broke.
I don't know. Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry. It's Lammy.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly,
Yes. Very soft. Isn't he soft? Bye!
Good to see you, friend.
does he actually know you? Or is he just shopkeep friendly?
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got pills now. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. Sure, friend. You...
Don't mind old Rosemary here. He's a buffoon. Let's have a word after your high concept.
Oh, the system's been good to old You see, friend, man makes his own luck. And I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of... Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought...
The hook. Where is it? I can't see it.
Hook 'em and cook 'em, huh? Aye, by amphetamine I mean speed. Aye, good, my man. Now what... See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. You know, it's funny, actually.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What?
Keep him talking.
This guy. Oh, this is medicinal spirits. I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of hell. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all. The idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila. What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7%. 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours.
Don't say it.
Yeah, be careful.
Feels like someone set a mustard field ablaze right inside your nose, then drenched. In all fairness, that...
So, what's the deal, friend? Want the spirits or not? 3 real and it's yours.
Well done. That's a much more reasonable price right there. Makes sense now.
Just make sure to enjoy...
Son, you will not kill yourself with this. Not today. So we're going to store this as a sellable item.
In the civilized world, it...
A drop in temperature, an easy flow there. An empty street, before chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a tub warm with water, white with soap. Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more. Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners... There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200. Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The cold washes up. The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind. The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
I'll wait. After we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling and
The key turns with a... On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, how would you know? You haven't even seen your face. An old mirror hangs on the wall, half covered in shadows. You cannot see yourself as you slip. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. An old mirror hangs as you slip. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. Oh my God. You can't stop. It's like it's not even... What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? There might have been 10 years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. Forget about ostentatious orchestrations. For Revachol, if it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, there is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression looking good on you. Or you have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up. Not really. Oh must have just stirred your mind. They're more like a disco rock. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some... As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what are you? Deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician and drug addict teacher. Yeah, a cool, trash superstar. Big dick cop down on his luck. Salam Rocky by here. Badass. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. The bed is comforting. a shaggy-looking girl.
Oh. Hello there. Huh? So should you. Oh, I didn't notice that. Sorry, man.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity, but
Why?
a very common name.
This is actually just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. A contact might record sounds from...
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called... No idea.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. Sure. Same place I got the record. Oh man. Yeah. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. Oh yeah. Guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Yes? Okay. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just... My boyfriend sold them. I don't know.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting... Anyway, I don't really know what I'm doing.
The sharp drop in endorphins is almost visible.
Take this, your call.
No man, fuck that, I'm cool.
It's okay.
Thanks. That? The boys think it could...
And who are these?
Yeah,
And why is that?
they got too much stuff music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but... Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us. Go ahead. It's supposed to become like a club for anodic... Except that... Yeah. You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments. Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. You know, anodic... What do you need to... I know. It's not my idea. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right? Okay, well... Maybe you could talk to... They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Go ahead.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The wind howls. It's real. Tell her.
What is? I know. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer? Come on, I can tell. But, okay. What is it? Oh, really? Wow, social justice really matters that much to you. That's commendable. It really had you shaken up there. Are you sure that's it, though? No, it sounds like you just got chick issues. Well, think about... Anyway, was there something else?
A pane of Eternite has been planted, barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering up.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. So,
You go ahead.
I'm actually not, he thinks.
I'm sure you will.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair.
hello, I'm Andre.
His grip is strong, sweaty.
This is my posse.
The young man with earrings looks at you.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive son.
That means they haven't set up a single...
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
On the sofa.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while the place... I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet.
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map.
Strikes that!
And sadder yet, because of...
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady... Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
The spooky kind. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer.
Also, they don't eat or... People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up.
So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter.
All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Of course.
All right.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly. The speed freak.
Not long. Like a week, maybe? I'm super sure they're alive.
I mean, come on.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
He nods attentively.
Sure, man. Tell us what the truth is. I don't really know.
Glimpses? Who are these people? Secret agents? Stealth operatives?
Well, when I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water.
Andre! Oh, and it felt like there was...
No!
Which other one?
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone, or something, eyeing us inside. Like you aren't alone.
It wasn't quite human.
Not human?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling. Like, yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up.
It was stalking a set.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not...
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it.
So he hasn't even been in their lake.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably. Well, honestly,
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Hey now, I'm 70%. Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from? Sure. What? Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding...
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a precise... And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the Innocentic system, no? Totally.
The Pericanassian church is about love. And Nordic music, love is hot.
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters. Feels good. Feels good.
Your posse's like your people, man!
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
Are we?
Yeah! Oh yeah!
He's coming around. You're getting it.
Yeah!
Do it. I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you.
The one with the large head. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if, they get this club going.
Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place... oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab.
The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all... Yes, that's all no...
Nosifed is the shit.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The noser. Blast away.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved. A number of things don't. How about gather around, kids? The one with their would-be leader is less amused.
But you still are.
What happened? That's a real downer.
The young speed freak is silent.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you know about spinning tape? I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients. What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never...
He said it was for his...
Likely pseudoephedrine. Almost exactly the shape of ephedrine.
And of all cellular-based life, what's...
No shit. That's... Come on, that's... It's not. What do you mean?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
What do you mean by lenient?
He thinks for a moment.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest...
Because we are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. No, man. They're spooky, all right.
But the sign was way off, too.
Sir, you promised you'd be lenient. Come on, man.
The young man...
No. Yes, fucking way.
Without a word, the other speed freak pulled. The disdain is palpable. His eyes pierce you like lightning as he lets go of the wallet.
We can continue on an amiable... Other hushnoid. As always...
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here. Oh, that.
She's less prone to blurt it out.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall, upside down like a crab. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that. Look.
Like a crab, you say?
It was too dark.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff.
A crab?
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like. Why? I guess so. Anyway, what else? I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth.
This is why I didn't go into the tent.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them. May I ask? What did you tell them? Oh, right. That's wise. Take your time. My associates? I haven't got much to say about... Sorry. I just...
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody? You. Think about the seagull's story. It's then their paradise became... No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters. Just like you. Exactly. The seagull does what it takes, and so do you. You've got that same spirit in you. A metal payphone. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Call it. This feels wrong. End of...
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre? So nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the... Are you sure you're Pierre?
Her voice is drowned in white. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut. The carving on the door is block-like and angular. The surface is smooth. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts...
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests Forever stolzed aussi. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Au revoir, sticker. The lock turns.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air in the heart. The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, and then it's gone. It seems the sound here is detached from it. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely, or you produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more. The lieutenant points to...
Can you hear anything? The church just has strange...
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity. He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin. There's nothing.
Officer, what are you looking at?
Filled with vague shapes of wood. You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at... Maybe it's possible. Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the build. The crab man. The man leaned forward a little.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in general.
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out.
This man is obviously a habitual...
Hey, and what was that about, the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here. Not all of it. I was like you once.
You know, actually, since we're here, You may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome.
You have no idea what the fuck. Whatever it is, he's quite confident about. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I always thought of myself more like a flame.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures.
Sure am. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness. It's all just for the mother, man. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. No, man. You gotta let that shit go. Then the mother's...
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me. Your place amongst your fellas. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me. Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm them. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Might even be nice to have some company. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by... Oh, that's no simple question. She is a cavity in the dark, beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes. I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally,
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
It's not like that.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his...
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I ain't from no
Marietti is a Mesque style of music and dance. He lost his cool there for a moment. Seems you hit some nerve.
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here. Back when I still had my... Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh?
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams.
Police raid. Oh.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. Other spooker?
The Aita is... Grandma?
No. I just call her Viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe that's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and... I'm afraid not at...
Or search through her radio computer. Why does art inspire you so much? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes. Disheveled. Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop. Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp? Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street. you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press. Go ahead and provide. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. It's also quite similar to the one...
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connects. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps.
Good afternoon. Votre accident en Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. Maybe he knows something.
No.
The hint system is not part of the protocol.
Receive. Votre accident. Is there anything? Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the... I have two machines.
Saint-Brune. That's the church. And
anything else I can help you with? Good.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. Nothing happens. In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover. The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile. Sunday.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most
on the coast of an uninhabited archipelago.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
The woman looks by in silence.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence, Dolores Day. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the highest category of historic individual, an embodiment. More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the incident, many things, you know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marquess. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge. She made the most of her position in the anti-DeLorean court. A court visited by the most prominent. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from. It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt. As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supreme Windy, all together in a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, her homeland. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white. One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day, something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria. Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secular, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his... This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefreighter, you've stood there for... What are you thinking of, if I may ask? She's been dead for 300... None of this is, in fact. This church, the coast, this isn't a good place to get lost in.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text. Unknown. A motor carriage? A gunshot? Someone falling in? The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed small figures of wise men, common men. Worshippers walk up the stairs. Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort. And then, along the left side, Après le monde. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale.
Death, life again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. Justice, union, prudence, and force. Eyes cool.
The mother of humanism towers above you.
Oh, hey, Wade. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait.
Coffee in the back? Something familiar about that. Coffee and stale cookies.
Too many times as...
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety. The lieutenant raises...
Don't sweat it, Vato. The password is... What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nili. Look, man. I'm at liberty to talk about the sacred blaze of the mother's glorious heart. I think we're done here, essay.
That was, however.
Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men. You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. So very, very, very nifty. The machine's keyboard is still. The speaker comes to...
Good afternoon. Good. Please repeat the part. Good. I have unlocked the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard. The printer prints out a long text document with the first entry made on the 4th of February, 51 by an arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the... The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever's... Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know.
Seems like something to do with something about the backup data getting destroyed. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store.
The strike. Well, keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's...
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind.
The Pillar of Silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been... Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, that disco man must be a cell.
The girl on the ice?
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want...
I knew it wasn't a good idea to
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. You're being interrupted by... A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer,
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
You won't find any answers from here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks.
We should talk to her.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex whack. Why? That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else? I don't know. What are we thinking? The mother of humanism towers.
What is it? No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. Yes.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face.
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA Radio. If you're not here to hire me,
Did she say over 16 years? That still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church.
No. Yes. No, you're right. I'm not. I brought them here.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core.
Could you just shh for a moment? They are connected to my reign prefect. Whatever you do...
Short and terse. There you have it.
Great. You really like...
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
I'm conducting scientific research. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. The lieutenant raises his brows.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Exactly. What does it mean? What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
I don't know. Are we? Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for.
Ha! Hydrotransducers. So that's what those water-based...
But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of raft.
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibration...
The Pillar of Silence?
Maybe. But it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. I know. No, I don't. Because it's just trial and error. Trying to locate the swallow, the And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks. What?
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober... This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. Take a guess, why don't you? Bingo!
Ah, wonderful. Now this house of worship is also going to be a drug lab. Always something fascinating happening in tents.
So that's settled. Great. No nightclubs in the church then. The swallow, you mean? What a... Great.
Someone has left an unidentifiable... The cloth, if you can still call it. It's streaked with dried seagull shit. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone...
Please tell me you're not taking that. It's a guano-encrusted jacket.
smell. It's awful, and for me, it doesn't help. Keep it in now. Don't overreact. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. Something cold. It is death. It must be. The lieutenant. There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days, no longer. We need to investigate.
Calm now, carefully. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. The leather jacket suits him well. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. When damp, these boards are real. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his height, 170 to 175 centimeters. There's some dried blood on the metal bench. Right, be very, very careful where you step here. A dried chunk of blood. This is...
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal.
They screech under your feet. You see waves churning below. He could have easily disappeared into the sea. A .75 liter Tallulah vodka.
Tear all around us. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The blackness of death.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of... I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the...
Looks like one of the locals. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think? We do know that he was married. But you're right. Let's not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's a... Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd... Oh yeah. Some symptoms of acute... But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure. From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own. A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of... I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work. Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest. No need to rush.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased or his family member. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi. If lost, please return the card to the library.
We should first decide what to do with the body.
There's some tear and 2 empty bottles of... No, there's more in there. Liver straw.
A tragedy.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarette. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it. It's hard to concentrate in this. A man lies on the boardwalk.
From where I stand, I can see... All right. The station is going... The next thing to do is call the station for my kinema and hand over the case.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
It's military. Probably something that is no longer there.
Hello again.
Hi again. And? What happened? Oh man! Who is he? What did you think? Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church? No. Yeah.
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? I guess it... Everyone... Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. A programmer? That's odd.
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in...
A shame. What can we do now?
Unity! Damn!
And you can't just evict her?
Look at you.
No, Noid. He's right. If that's okay with...
The line's in the dark.
At least Crabman's...
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like a Nordic dance?
Egghead cannot believe what you do.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you.
Oh, man. For me, it was my favourite part. I mean, Nordic music is great and all, but drugs, they make you feel... But that's exactly what drugs are for. Exactly. Time to expand your mind.
Excellent. Good luck, my friend.
Hello again.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust. Dripping water. There's rust and corrosion on the bars.
No, I had a partner once. They called him well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter.
His hands lead the way. Guillaume Le Million. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 1938, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body...
Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinaise? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, hypertext, young carp, and the collection of cultural hyperlinks. Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grant. Quite tricky.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of...
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see.
Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And
it looks old and...
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and... They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move... Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Felt had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve. It was here in Martinaise, possibly in this very building. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and Faraday ribbons, portable enough to be... Which is a feat of engineering, even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and Zahn.
He assumes something like...
Indeed.
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government... All of this was built by Feld, even a boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinaise proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that...
A pleasure wheel?
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinaise was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living... Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail.
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
Tape computers. They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news...
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bombessier d'Insolente. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was smart.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover.
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center in Vredefort, Oranje.
Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dom? What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Joost?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dump Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman... In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dump Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write direct...
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of old... Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the felt playback experience. Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. But of course, what else? I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really...
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing...
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our home.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff.
I do some Lo Mantang stick fighting.
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts.
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting.
You doze off as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind. Man.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying? Then I guess everything got said, right? No, thanks to you for having...
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is...
Looks like tomorrow never came.
There's a sip.
Who's there?
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movement.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. To what do I owe the police?
That's sarcasm.
Oh no, it's all right. I'm just busy. Ah, of course. Thank you for passing along the message.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets under...
You broke the waterlock with a motor carriage? There was a billboard in the canal. Not a...
Did he...
Yes, Gary!
Sir.
I just have to do one more round. See if the Phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going. And I'm eager to... My wife understands that.
Come on, Morale.
And leave the traps.
Come on. She wants us back. I'm soaked up.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it.
She's seen it?
Yes. That's... how... Suffice to say... It's long been our dream to find proof of the insulin. No.
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
Well, they may not look impressive. Yes. Simple. Attracted by the locusts. At least, that's the intention. Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids.
Inside the trap, a meat-eating stick insect. Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior?
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant, but they'll work, I assure you.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. What? I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Yes, indeed. Both require... There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula. By the... Another we set in... The third is set near the canal. You should check at least one of those before...
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular? Even relative to examining a week-old corpse, I'm not sure mucking about in the reeds.
Bring it.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about...
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the... It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it. Your choice. As I said.
But you feel you should have it. Don't mess around. Take the pheromone. It'll make you sexier.
Right, which means you...
Fine. Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down.
If it's more cryptid-related business, but what if the information is vital? What about his eager-to-leave friend Gary there? Talk to him too, perhaps.
Hello? Yellow man. I mean, officer.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out. Yellow man. Interesting.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just...
Degenerates, this man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art...
Oh, I've been tempted.
He pronounces Revacon with a hard K, unlike other people.
I like to pronounce it the hard way.
The stupid way? It's a secret rite. A very fringe...
Oh, so that's what the RCM...
So you do...
No.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going...
My mug?
His eyes widen at the sight of the mug. He's seen it before, all right?
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone. Okay, I admit it. I threw... You're not going to find me, are you? Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I don't know what got into me, really.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionics, sir.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Officer, please. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged. Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them in... Okay, I was coming to throw the mug.
Right. It was just...
Exactly.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
What sound? Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course.
An infant could see. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this.
I hope I can help your investigation.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
No.
There probably is a follow-up to this, but you can't think of any. Doesn't matter.
Not many Sealites.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next racist will be... Well, this is that racist.
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. No problem at all.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons. Big. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example.
I knew you'd figure it. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you...
We're not detecting falsehoods, sire.
Gary!
Later, Morale!
No. You've got explaining to do.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man, but so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Everyone was picking those pieces up. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground. Only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning.
We're detecting sincere
It's okay. It was a loose end.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man.
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly.
Because I was...
The hell?
I'll explain later. I always thought it was the Union. Some Union...
This is all he knows.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
In my home. Yes. When I was going to... Mr. Clare unlocked my apartment? So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll...
As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back.
Whatever it is, tell him I'm silent as the grave. I was probably talking too loud. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
I mean, officers.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one behind you. A ruined locusts are crawling around in the trap.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. I meant no offense, just...
Scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall.
Correct. Meaning this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least. Their heads lowered and are 10 meters away. Other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Droplets of rain fall on the wooden planks, the surrounding sand dunes. A long time has passed since the moment. The abundance of bullet holes leads to 2 options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in, they stand, facing the wall. It's impossible. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed. The commandant, the one who gives...
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last...
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld.
Another likely...
Or maybe...
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition fought. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior.
A cold sea.
our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Yes? What do you want to know? What's the cop kind? Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the... Well, sort of. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite a brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that.
So, he volunteered to represent. Somewhere in your mind hangs a dark green blackboard. There are two columns. One says, cases solved. The other, the rows are endless. Jean Vitmer, Judith Minot, a special
Well, technically, the official record keeper has been known to double count murder-suicides.
A common accounting gimmick used to inflate precincts.
I'm good enough for this case. I'm not here to compete. I came because I had to. My fellow officers, the sergeants in particular, would have made... Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of...
Clearly, he has already formed his own theory.
Okay.
It's impossible to tell whether he's serious or joking.
In the new, was there anything else you wanted to ask about the competition? Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight Precinct. Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late.
I've considered it. It would be immensely ugly of them. I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. I am the Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Me?
This man probably... Apricot Susan...
Very cool. I admire your awareness of our intertwined... If you say so, officer. I don't...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio mic.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? One moment. Can you please describe the body?
We suspect he might have been inebriated.
Any signs of violence? No field autopsy. What about his belongings? Did you examine any information on the library? Good. Do you and Lieutenant Kit...
Assign it to someone else.
Great. I'll give it to your colleagues. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? No. And I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. Anything else?
In the cabin, you see a set of...
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, Jeanne.
Goodness, how... Oh, yes. But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman. Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt.
Betancourt got bombed in the war.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. We were on our first date when I told him my story. You should have seen his face. He said our first.
The sigh is tender. The sigh is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express.
Not all of them, as far as I remember. Some of them. On the inside, it's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself.
What if it is the case?
Of course. I've thought about it. So how did I know what to imagine? It was only when I started telling my story as a teen. You trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here.
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just...
Can I help you?
What is this thing? What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess?
This was mostly about the fucking cardio.
I feel good about our work here today.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Yes? What is it?
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your...
Can I actually...
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right?
Of course I'm with him.
You're an asshole.
Please, let's not turn this into another it means I'm a patrol officer.
What was with that, sir?
Well,
Cut the shit. Every second you stand here running your mouth, the case grows colder. Again? I can't believe this.
It's you again. What is it? A wit?
That's just contactee status. Next, he's gonna tell you.
Well, let's hear it then.
This goes without saying, but nonetheless, don't give out his name.
Yeah, right.
MI is short for moral intern. Moral intern is
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
It's you assholes that...
Yeah.
They're avoiding having to answer this question.
We were drinking.
Right. I'm convinced, Glenn. Nothing off here.
Arab guy?
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene?
Those flaccid MI cocks.
It means...
What is this fella's...
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story.
You...
I know you are lying, Shanky.
You don't have to go to...
You're doing a hell of a job.
So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info.
It's you again. What is it?
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind. Did you already try? You're probably right. The others are only there. This is not... I'm afraid it's not what you think it is either. Yes. You.
What in the
fuck?
Easy, Shanks. I want to see where this is going.
Detective, we don't have to demonstrate anything. Let's just get back to the questions.
He does not like that phrasing. Neither do I.
Police job? Be careful, it's loaded.
Good. Now put it in your mouth. I want to point it at them. Everyone knows how to do that. You're a...
What are you doing?
Genuine panic flies across the loot.
Fellas, you getting any of this?
No.
Fellas, the cop is really threatening to off himself.
He's desperately trying to offer a counter-narrative. There is none.
The fuck?
Nothing. Give me the gun. We'll solve the case. Look at me. Don't worry. His demons...
Yeah.
You won't, man. His fucking balls ain't big enough.
He's not gonna...
No. He'll do it.
2. No. Give it to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. It's not too late. You can still spin this as some kind of... There will be no spinning. Do the honest thing. Pull the trigger.
Thank you. Nothing to worry.
Dark? What the fuck was that, you guard?
I knew he wasn't gonna.
No. I still have my money on him. Sooner or later, he has that look.
Do not think your failed suicide attempt will win you in.
Again, it was a dark joke. Maybe we should go for a little walk, Joker, before we continue. Jogging.
Sounds like you're the suicide cop. You idiot. You've got the bullet. You've made such a big show out. What is this? It would be the honorable thing to do. It would really show them. Show her, too. Oh, yes. It would be so sweet to taste the barrel.
What in the name of hell was that supposed to be? The theatrical suicide. We do. I was able to recontextualize it as a dark joke. We can't have RCM officers going around putting guns in their mouths. We can't afford to have that image. Few.
It's you again. What is it?
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, you believe the place was called Precinct 41.
Huh?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal.
So what? What do you...
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him.
You want to help her, cop? Fine. If you don't, if you...
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Yeah. Blonde. Tall. 2 rooms over from yours.
You
I don't...
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Relationship there wasn't.
Was like that cat. Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Officer, what was that?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. Okay, that's manageable. So she'll... Anything else? That's clearly your interrogation technique. You will be all right, Lieutenant.
Is it though? The door is...
Who is it?
Tired. Control.
This is the police.
Come on up.
This medicine cabinet is full of weight. It's been used. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of...
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Nacra. This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Godvaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What? A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it Dextro...
Preptide.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Smooth as ice. There are... Following your lead, the lieutenant leans...
Looks like it, yes.
Smooth as... Following your lead. Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your... The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod. Your 9mm semi-automatic finger pistols produce a satisfying snap. Strange for some... That's not entirely true.
Welcome to the roof.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Where the dead body used to hang.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly. Right.
I'm Kim Kitsurai.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of Austin. Oh yeah. Life gets hard.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your mornings.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward go.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of...
Huh. I see.
What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are relaxed. Her
Clausier Amon.
same name that Titus gave you. Like her accent, it sounds...
Right, sir. Vredefort. Republic.
Wasn't the tattoo on the hanged man an Oranese map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head.
A bad memory of...
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the bow. It is one of the six. They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources.
Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass. Duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city.
What's so bad about...
Nothing, if you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what... Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... nothing. I do nothing with it. It's not very cool, but what can you do? I'm afraid you...
Why is that? Thank you for your care.
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after... I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
It's also why...
Why else?
I'm an unpopular girl. The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry, this has nothing to do with your investigation. I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect. Phew. If I were to lie to you, I would come up.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you...
About 4 months.
The bills downstairs.
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are... Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still...
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star-sized caboodle.
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs.
Very funky. It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Okay. It's a bit early in the morning for rate, isn't it? Is it? It is evening. Time flies, man. Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped.
By him, she must mean...
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, by they, she means...
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. We partied. With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Please, you're alive in 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14. What no one does on your level is hitting the repeat button. I'll give you that. And maybe room trashing.
What did you do when you...
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink a little. The drugs were good enough.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a month ago? Something like that. Pretty much.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life.
I'm 89% sure. Cool. Oh, yes. I've had a great view.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline with nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it.
You were right to suspect there might be foul play involved.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is set. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid.
We're not entirely convinced about that answer, but okay.
Thank you for making...
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military.
And the lynch?
She nods.
Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatre craft here, sir.
They stripped his clothes.
You mean after they...
I'm confused, so
am I. Were you...
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And...
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't look...
Cowering? I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie. They're frequent guests downstairs. Over drinks. It's a little.
Like you partied with...
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to...
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
She breathes.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth. She looks at...
Pretty. Looks like a dried Maybell. Is that a martial art, sir? Is that it?
Samurai boxing, or Sambo. Graceful martial arts stuff.
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more light? Yeah? All right. Why not?
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. What else could she...
You would have caught it.
If not you, then... You think so? Being candid is the best. She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move.
Six crumbling petals.
This is the...
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early.
The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but it's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their death. Yes, but not this early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved. Maybe, maybe not.
The petals feel... Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing?
It's you again. What is it? Again? Seriously, man. Fine. Fire away. Well enough.
How well do you?
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscle...
You mean Revachol? Nah.
Don't you give her any more trouble. Shut up, Angie.
Titus, what's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again.
It would help you.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe?
Here you go, boss.
What do you think I meant? Yeah, pretty much. No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any detail.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the trauma.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
She wasn't raped. The witnesses statement.
Lawman, I'm at the end. And you went and...
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy. Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes...
When she's angry, she emphasizes that someone has to rush in to break the tension.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it. Show it to him, T.
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters. A mess. It might be nice to listen to.
You don't care about evidence.
Pigs, T. They don't get up.
I won't be on your book.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape.
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM are. We have machines. We're in logistics.
Understood? You've listened.
Since way before they're cheap.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop.
Don't put yourself down, Angus.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this?
Yeah, play it with your...
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugly. Yeah? What about you do that?
Well...
Hey, was there something you needed? Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting money? Another thing. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do... What's that supposed to mean? Fuck you, buddy. She's not my type. Now, was there anything else? I have like... Oh, yeah. No, I don't...
Wondering about it is...
Also...
He's attempting to maintain an air... He look...
Yes? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
The compact tape. The machine was made in... There's no fixing this one. Best find a new player. A boombox. Funky style.
It's you again. What is it? Oh, shut.
She's just in the night.
Yeah, she...
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Lawman. And you...
Hit you.
Titan Everard.
When she's angry, someone has to rush.
Look, Copper. Show it to him.
Here, jerkwad.
This is their last...
You don't...
Big stick.
I won't be...
There's a lot of questions. If you...
What's up? You don't care.
Big stick.
I won't be...
There's a lot.
You think we go into this? We have... Sounds...
Things got nice. It's not a...
Don't put...
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those no...
Don't forget your tape, lawman. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Hello again. Yeah, we still have those boomboxes on the shelves.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves. And your boombox, that gold and amber.
Absolutely. Sorry, man. I can't be giving out freebies. A discount.
Remember, he doesn't like music. He likes sounds. The door got careful. You can only do this once.
4 real is offensively low, but just this once. For the music. And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play in.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the appropriate push. Come on.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice one. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrete on your porter reel.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Still, Corty could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the monk. A village on the Samaran Isola.
The South Safre conflict is an ongoing proxy war between...
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have
a symbol of soldier of the...
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her...
As you take out the tape, the boom...